And I am live, everybody. Good afternoon. I should say good evening to all of you. What is it? 5, 6, 7, 8:53 p.m. on a Friday night. I sure hope that your Friday night is going well here on the Rosie Murphy channel. My thoughts on Detroit so far and 5,000 miles down. It's kind of amazing to me. Michaela, how are you, sweetie? Nice to see you. It's kind of amazing to me how many miles you can rack up just being in the metro area of a city like Detroit. Monique, thank you so much, honey, for your kind gift today. I really appreciate that, my girl. It is going to be, hey Jeffrey, it is going to be a big day tomorrow. Meeting one of my good friends. Yeah, man. No, I didn't see a message, Michaela. Do you know my Gmail's I can make it like new at gmail.com? I can make it like new at gmail.com, and that'll always reach me. A few subjects I want to cover off tonight. 5,000 miles down in my journey. That is lot of traveling, and I have to be okay. Yeah, I miss the text. How you doing, Johnny West? What's going on, Joe Smith? How you feeling, honey? So I want to get to these topics. Tomorrow is going to be Yeah Man, and it promises to be an epic day. Yeah Man is a hell of a great guy that I've known for the better part of a year and a half, 2 years on YouTube. He lives in Detroit, and he's really excited to meet up tomorrow and to see the Rouge plant, which at one time was the biggest industrial complex in the world, to go maybe check out the Henry Ford Museum, and also to see the outside of where he works. He doesn't care. He was, doxed out long ago or whatever. He's in a very secure, he's a nice guy. In my opinion, he's a very nice guy. So he's going to take the time tomorrow to drive us around. The Rouge plant was Henry Ford's idea in the 1920s to build a factory that would do everything in that factory, every part for a car, every piece of material, from the coal to fire up the generators to generate electricity, to the iron ore, to everything, to just make one from raw material to finish. And it ended up being completed just when the Depression hit. So it was some question about whether it was ever really financially viable. Dearborn is all, Sterling Heights, I've discovered. Sterling Heights is all about Chrysler, which is the western suburb of Detroit here. And Dearborn is all about Ford Road, Ford Medical Clinic, Ford. It's huge. So if you're into historical stuff, tomorrow we'll be visiting the scenes, the actual location of the riots in the 1930, where the United Auto Workers was born, the confrontation when Henry Ford called in the Pinkertons. And it's going to be, hey JK NoCal, it's going to be very interesting because I know a lot of this union history and Walter Reuther and the birth of the United Auto Workers and the shootings, the deaths that occurred, the confrontations in the 1930s, because to increase productivity, Henry Ford had the line speeded up, the assembly line, and pretty soon, even though the workers were $5 a day, which was a princely sum, it just became almost unbearable, the repetitive factory work and the speed of it, and it really led to the birth of unions. So we'll be going down and seeing some of that history. Yeah, 1930s, the Pinkertons, and all the actual locations where those confrontations occurred. So if you're into history, then into the Henry Ford Museum. I'm not sure if I'll be able to live stream, but to be able to bring some video content hopefully in there. About 5 people have texted me that have either been there or live in the Detroit area, and they're telling me that the Henry Ford Museum is a must-see museum. We'll also get a chance to meet Yeah Man who's a funny guy. Try and be, yeah, no problem, Monique. I know you're sick, honey. Just take care of yourself. You can always click on the stream later and watch it. I don't want to oversell it because it's yeah man has a family and it's taken away from his Saturday. I really do hope you get well soon. JK NoCal, I hope you're doing good up in NorCal, not being shaken by any earthquake. Yeah, wasn't it nice to see Andrea W. Today, and a really, really, really nice woman to kind of feature her and help her along to create content. She's one of those people that pulls positive on the channel. And I know there's controversy been about having Marshall and having him on the stream, but I'm a person that believes in the positivity and the continuous trying to get the better nature out of people, and I just, I refuse to change that, and I refuse to change the kind of person I am. I'm always, maybe naive, maybe Pollyannish, but I always believe in whether I'm doing a live stream or whether I'm meeting people in real life, to try to be as positive as I can with what I have to work with. Andrea, how are you? Oh, thank you, honey, for the thumbs up. If you're on the chat, please give a thumbs up here. Yeah, you can be positive and set boundaries, and so far my boundaries are good. This is a guy that actually may have to go to Cali, may have to go to, over the border to get, he's laying plans for his future and things like that. So, Henry Ford Museum has Lincoln car. Yeah, he has a car that Lincoln was shot in, which evidently is pretty creepy. Lincoln's death mobile. I know that's in the Henry Ford mobile. And don't forget Connally, the governor of, few people know that John Connally, the governor of Texas, was gravely injured in that same shooting, although it doesn't get the attention that the death of John F. Kennedy got. But he was gravely injured in that shooting, the governor of Texas. So there's a lot of very interesting, history down there that I'm going to be very, very excited to explore. So I want to be positive. I was thinking today, I was getting a little depressed about some of the videos that are made and stuff, and I was going to do a hangout kind of addressing that. I thought, that's not my nature to do that. The only thing I can tell people is, if you enjoy the content, you're going to enjoy the content. If you don't enjoy the content, or you don't enjoy the personalities, you can always, how you doing, Keith Gregory? You can always, as some people have, unsub the channel, and then over time you round into the channel that you want, that has more of the people that enjoy following your content. Because believe me, on a daily basis, more people come into the channel and some people leave the channel. It's called the what would you call it, the progression, or as a channel just grows and matures. It's just I take my opportunities where I can. Exactly, the operative word is my content. I don't try to shape the content to think what would be the best seller, or what would be the best thing to fire up a hangout and go negative and score some people that have put out so much misinformation about things. No, I mean, I'd have hundreds and hundreds of people in that kind of stream, but I just refuse to do that kind of thing. So I want to stay positive. And the people that don't like, or the people that suck down the misinformation about the channel and believe the things that they want to believe, and they move on. So there's no excuse. If they hang around, it's because they want to hang around. I'm bringing more content on the road than anybody. Live streams, cinematic experiences. The live stream in Detroit proves to me yesterday that no matter who's sitting here, whether it's Marshall, whether it's me, that content trumps all. Because people want to be taken places to see things that they normally would not be taken to see. And it also jives with my wish to do that kind of activity a lot more. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, the best part is that I'm not a hate monger. I don't grab the low hanging fruit of picking people on YouTube and setting up set hangouts to excoriate those people, because the problem with those people is they claim that they don't like it, but yet they continuously they don't leave. You know what I'm saying? So so how can I take that stuff serious? Yeah, drama. I'm not about the drama. If people don't like watch, yeah, but people will absolutely, they'll be there if the content trumps all. So if people want to lose the Detroit because they're so involved with the personalities that are involved, then I would rather that they moved on and just went to a place where they're happy and they don't have to worry about it. Yeah, no matter what, I will always watch YouTube. Actually, JK NoCal, you're one of the nicest people I've ever met, if not the nicest person I've ever met on YouTube, with your fun and your nature and your ability to roll with stuff that comes along. And I really like that. You have the perfect nature for YouTube. You don't always like the content that I put up. A lot of people aren't going to like what's coming in the future, but my channel should be all about me. It should be about me and my content that I'm bringing. How you doing, Flan? Nice to see you. And that's what I want to remain. I just want to take this time at the 5,000. Libby, thank you. 10 pounds. Managed to catch a live before I go to bed. It's all good. Thank you, honey. I really, really appreciate that. I know, JK. Flan's loving the road trip. You guys have been wonderful in your support of me. I have 5,000 miles down so far. I mean, when you think of Santa Rosa to Las Vegas to Salt Lake City, Salt Lake to Omaha, Nebraska, Omaha to I don't know where now we went. Omaha to Michigan, and Battle Creek, Michigan, Battle Creek to Toronto, Toronto to Buffalo, Buffalo to Buffalo to Baltimore, Baltimore to to Detroit. I mean, it's been a hell of a tour. And if I was anybody, I wouldn't want to miss the content on the channel. So the people that are on my channels rise above that nonsense, and they're here because they want to go down the streets of Detroit. There were over so far 4,100 views on that shoot yesterday. And I don't normally talk about views, but the level of engagement on that was high because people were seeing things in Detroit that they would never probably do themselves. To go over to Livernois Avenue, to go down 8 Mile Road in these places, and not just to see the showpiece Detroit, but to get your idea of the whole darn city. Not showcasing poverty, but showcasing the balance of what Detroit is all about. Oh yes, and Cumberland, Maryland too. Yes, I've missed some of your chats because you're on Eastern time. I'm used to being in California. Exactly. Yeah, I showed you a beautiful side of Baltimore, and I balanced that off with the not so nice, so that you have a real idea of. And I remember Monique was on that stream, and it was so wonderful when Monique was saying, I never knew Baltimore was so beautiful when you go tour around. And there are just some really, showcase. It's a big tourist town now. And Visit with the Dad was great, and bringing the content of eating the crabs. I'm trying to bring some of the regional eating experiences. And sometimes I'm very disheartened when I'll go to a place like Dearborn, and I'm not a person, and I'm kind of sad. And I felt sad last night. I was kind of thinking of the fact that I went and visited this mosque yesterday, which is the biggest mosque in the United States, and it happened to coincide with the 4th of July. And there were some people that were upset that I would even go and look at a mosque. But I thought that that visit last night, which was totally coincidental with the date, was a really good encapsulation of the values and principles of our Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. The ability to have freedom of religion in the United States. How wonderful that we don't live in one of these shithole Middle Eastern countries that they roll church bombs in and kill Christians in places like Iraq and other Afghanistan. How great it is that we can celebrate the fact that we do have freedom of religion. What a perfect point for the 4th of July to say, people, hey, this is what America's all about. And I get a little blowback about the food too, but I've tried to explain people that this is something that I can't get where I come from. I can't get like Middle Eastern food, and when I have a chance to immerse myself in that experience of the pastry shop, or dare I say, eating a shawarma or having a kebab or enjoying some hummus and something like that, I can come away from a city with the totality of the experience and be able to tell people I ate the food of Dearborn. I had the Coney Island hot dog and all that. With Karen's steak dinners is up from Toronto. Okay, yeah. Good evening, Rosie. Some people never heard the old, if you can't say anything nice about someone, don't say anything positive. No, Michaela, you're fine. My channel's about free expression. I don't boot people off of my channel. I can't think of the last time that somebody was given a boot. I don't moderate my comments. You can see some of the negative comments that are posted on there. I really do believe in giving people the opportunity to express themselves. And if it's negative, I can provide a counterpoint to that with my own beliefs of the way that I like to do things on the channel. Yeah, you get the education and you get the history. Thank you. JK NoCal, he knows what to remove and who to boot and all that. And I don't second guess my moderators. But I had, a friend of mine today that started up a hangout, 2 parts that, Rosie hates me now or whatever. And I'm just so saddened about that. Because I'm doing a hangout with Andrea W. and to get all 3 of us into the camera, I have to position the camera at an the cell phone at an abnormally great distance away from where I usually sit it. So therefore my ability to read the chat, and this is why I had Andrea W. looking at the chat, and Marshall was looking at the chat for phones, because I literally couldn't read that chat. But this person took the opportunity to somehow have the inductive conclusion that somehow I didn't like this person because I didn't respond to the comments or whatever in the side chat. And I don't need that on my channel. I don't need that kind of, that level of, I'm either your friend or I'm not. The bond of friendship should be strong. It should not be something that is so easily dissipated that nobody even has a chance to, explain, by simply putting a Gmail out, but feels the need to start up Hangouts and make that the subject of the Hangout. And in fact, it's saddening to me, okay? And the hate Hangouts and things like that. So there you go, Bella Rose. Thank you, honey. There you go. Monique, you're coding, yeah. So I want to continue pulling positive on that. I almost felt myself at the 5,000 mile mark today that I really wanted to pull a negative. I really wanted to just level the guns and just go after some of the BS on the channel and some of the people that just continue to be hate mongering and things on that. But I decided that's not what I do. That's not who I am. See the Detroit Chooch? Yeah, you'll really enjoy Crazy. Thank you. Hey, there's Fundy. How you doing, Fundy? Well, you can see it when it shows up on the super chat. It doesn't need a genius to see a color change. on here. So when you see something that pops up, it pops up. But you know, Fundy Coach, you're a person that wants to push continuously negative. I saw the stuff that came down with D and all that stuff. So you know, whatever. I'm going to be positive on my channel. Not worth your breath. That's what I say. It's not. It's not really worth. It's worth continuing to stay the person I am and continuing to do the things I do. And just because you have the ability to accept a tip on the channel does not mean that people are required to do anything. Never ask for a penny of taxes. Never ask for anything. I don't really care, Fundy Coast, you know. Hey, your girl Jay, thank you, honey. Let me buy your next couple of morning coffees. Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. And if that's the negative way that you want to be, Fundy, that's fine. You know, you do you, I'll do me. I'll continue to enjoy my journeys and have fun. I saw the way you rickrolled D-Dub and all that nastiness. So, yep, Tim Hortons, woo! I do like yours, but it will continue to give, yeah, Wig Snatcher is cool. I'm not stopping people from doing that, but I'm going to do what I want to do on my travels, just like people tell me. I have the ability to, I have the ability to, you know, do the content that I want to do, and these people have the ability to go away. So you know, and that's the choice, the free choice that they have. Is there any reason to be hateful? No, not at all. So if you hit 500, you're gonna need an oil change. I already got an oil change in New York, Daisy Dukes. Yeah, it's, you know, it's up to, you know, D's got to run his own show too, and we have communicated, and you know, he'll have the opportunity, like I say, to have that shot back to Las Vegas. Otherwise I go to otherwise I move to Santa Rosa. So that's the topic on that. So it's going to be a big day tomorrow. I want to continue pulling positive. I'm here to get all of the joy out of Detroit. Yeah, but D's got to create his own content too, Monique. He has to, you know, get that hangout going, and get out there and show some stuff too. He needs to be an independent choocher too, and go out there and bring some content. So let's continue to push him to get out there and chooch and chooch and chooch and chooch and chooch. Joy to the world. There you go. Yeah, bring it. Bring that content. That's what you got to do. It's all about content. And that's what that's what I want to continue to bring on the channel. So after Detroit, it'll be Chicago. And then after Chicago, it'll either be Las Vegas or back to the Rancho for a break there, and then on to the Southern California swing, which will be very exciting this summer. And I'm really looking forward to having some downtime and not do the travel. I need to be in some place for, you know, 5 to 10 days and just chill out, and then just hightail it back to the Rancho. Yeah, I miss Missy Jen a lot. I do miss her. We do communicate on the regular. I think she misses me too. She's probably enjoyed her break at home. And if you're enjoying the stream tonight, please stop and give a thumbs up on it. It's most appreciated. So I think that she's enjoying the break too, but I think it's at a point where she may be getting a little bit lonely, but she does have a lot of support there with the boss and Janet, and with you know, she's helping Bobby a bit too. Yeah, this Sunday will be 1 month on the road, 28 days. So everybody misses you, you know, when yeah, I miss you when you're working. Yeah, she's a nice lady, and very, 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 very happy. So she's enjoying her time too. I'll get home, I'll have a lot of things to do there. Hopefully I'll be able to get some fishing in with the boss, do some salmon fishing, and get my ducks all in a row. I probably will get a stationary In other words, I'll probably have a place to stay in San Diego that'll be a base of operations for a month to be able to chooch, and then maybe a base in Los Angeles too, because there's a lot to see in LA, and there's a lot to do in San Diego and the surrounding towns and cities there. Sean the Brit, I have to admit, why you dropped D and picked Ellis back. Obviously, can you please say hello to Harvey? Yeah, I didn't want to get into this, but Harvey had a falling out. Thank you, Miss Kitty. Smile. There we go. Ooh, Harvey had a falling out with Juice, my moderator. But, what Harvey fails to realize is that I have a very long history with Juice as a very loyal friend of mine. Yes, does he do some things that are sort of rough and tumble sometimes on the channel? Of course you do, but it's the kind of thing that you attempt to work out with the person themselves. I'm not going to throw over a moderator because two people have an issue on the chat. I say we're all adults, work it out between you and do it. And then Harvey indicated that he had unsubbed both the channels and doesn't watch, and watches on some type of big screen TV where people don't get the views. And I thought to myself, wow, are we really down to this? Our friendship should be stronger than that, and not being able to see the chat because I have this phone so far away today that I can't see the chat because I got to get all of us on the video today. And because, I'm specifically asking Andrea and Marshall to monitor the chat for questions, and you can hear at the beginning because I can't see the chat. Ranger game on the 30th and 31st. That would be great. That would be great. So Harvey's a friend of mine. I communicated to Harvey that I could not see the, only once in a while when I would lean forward, I would pick something up and see it. But I don't need things that are that light in the way of friendship. I need friendships that are strong and enduring and can get over the bumps of that. So when he indicated that, in the hangout yesterdays that he had unsubbed both of the channels, well, I'm surprised to see him back on the channels today. So, let's get a chance to make it right. Let's get a chance to hit the reset button on it, and that's great. You're in between a rock and a hard place. People are going to pick sides. It's human nature. Yeah, I'm here to bring content, and sort of what happens on the side chat is up to those people to work out. Contact each other, hit the reset button on it, and do it. Because I can't run the channel and bring the content and edit the videos and do 5,000 miles and try to, there's always going to be somebody that's unhappy with the way that the chat streams or the videos are done. Now, most people with a rational mind will walk away and leave if they don't like it. So if you stay around, it's because you have an ulterior motive. And so you can see this guy Fundy Coast. His true colors came out with D. I mean, it was all with the harsh and ridiculous threats and other things just for losing a wrench on a channel. It just shows this is why I like to be positive and not engage in this kind of activity. So there we go. So that's the kind of person you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and there he goes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Joe Smith. I don't ever let the small 1 or 2% ever control anything on my anything on my channel. Anything. So you can go over to the other channels and spew hate or do whatever you want to do, but this is about content, about bringing content. It's not about panel hangouts. It's not about targeting people. It's about bringing content. Hey Katie, how are you? Yeah, you can't do that. I'm not clear. Do you want feedback or nah? I'm good either way. I just want you to have success. Feedback is good on comments, but I do go out and bring the content that I want to bring on the channel. I do not go and try to tailor the content to think of what's going to bring the most views or what's going to draw the biggest audience. I go out and do the things that I like to cover and the content I like to do with the people that I want to do it with. And then people have the choice to either watch it or don't watch it or unsub and sub. And if you're doing the content that you want, eventually people come along that like that kind of content, they lock in on it and they follow it. They don't get stuck. They don't get all stuck up on the side issues of personalities and the derivative problems of a YouTube channel. Cornholio, how are you? So feedback's always welcome, but I have to be honest. I've built the channel on my own with my own content, and I plan on continuing to go forward that way. It's the only way I know how. So I'm looking forward to continuing to travel, 75% travel for the future, and good content for you guys. You're going to see cities, you're going to get the depth, you're going to get the whole experience of travel. You're not just going to go to historical sites and just this is Stone Mountain, or this is the battlefield where Custer's last stand. You're going to get some of the more unknown tidbits of that history, or you're going to be taken to secondary or tertiary places where you can really learn a lot of things. The food videos too. Food videos, van life videos. I haven't even talked about that. I've not done one video about life in the van, in this small van, and how I've endured with tremendous high heat and humidity with no air conditioning and very little ventilation and things like that. I think it's very interesting to talk about those. Uber Goober lady, how are you, honey? Nice to see you. Thank you, hippie. How sweet. Love all your vids. Yeah, the setup is, JK says, I love the simple setup. It has served me so well, and I'm going to do a video. I have to do so few things to get ready to go to bed at night. I have to do few things to get ready to get up in the morning and face the day. My eats are simple. I don't feel the need to have a stove or cooking. My breakfast usually consists of a coffee and one donut at, for $2.98 altogether at Tim Hortons. I don't eat lunch, and then typically today and for days I bought lunch. I bought Outback Steakhouse for to have Lady T, to give her a nice treat. I took Andrea out to her favorite place today to have a treat. I'm trying to be nice too, and show these people, since they're opening their homes and opening their hearts to visit us, that it's a two-way street. Cobra John, how are you? Nice to see you. So I'm also happily spending to try to bring a little joy to people's life too. And it was so nice to meet Andrea today, and she was so happy. She's like, I can't believe you would drive up here to she's about an hour outside of Detroit. I can't believe that you would take an hour. How you doing, Sandy? Sunday is your day. It's like, I can't believe that you would take an hour to do to drive out here.
Still on the hangout?
Yeah, I'm just about finishing up. Let me just wrap up.
Okay.
All right. Just give me a couple more minutes. There's Sandy. Nice to see you. I'm looking forward to Sunday. We have a little bit of a special event set up for. Yeah, I told Elvis this is a rosy hangout. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Sandy. This is a Engelberg. How you doing? Nice to see you. There we go. So this is I got about 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna check the email. I will see. I'll see what's going on there. So good content tomorrow. We've got Yeah Man coming. Going to continue to pull positive. Reach out to Harvey and say, yes, we're still very good friends on here. You're always welcome on the channel. Just understand, my life is conducted on a 3x5-inch screen right now that's at various times is situated 1 foot to 4 feet away from me. and it's 61 years old. It's sometimes a little challenging to read the chat screen there, especially when you're trying to produce a wide angle video where people can, when everybody can be in. Give people the benefit of the doubt a little bit. You know, don't feel the need to, you know, when you tell somebody I've unsubbed both your channels and moved on, what is the obligation that person has now? My obligation is if you come back and you be nice and you communicate, we can be friends again, we can be great, we can keep rolling forward, and everything is all good. Bloomin' onions are so good. Yeah, I think Harvey understands. You know, and I know he does too. So we're going to be back on pace. Try to be nice. He's a long way from. Yeah, that's it. How you doing, Mark Handler? So with that, I'm going to thank you very much, Hippie. I'm going to go ahead and close out the hangout now and say thank you very much, guys, for being along. And like I said, I hope you understand my points here and the content that I want to continue to bring. Always send suggestions if you want to meet up along the way. That's great. Love meeting people in here. And please give a thumbs up on the way out. Thank you, Monique. Love you too. My grandfather ran moonshine for Al Capone. Isn't that awesome? I love you guys. Thanks so much for being along. You're to render. Well, stay tuned. It's going to be an interesting summer. That's all I can say. Thanks so much for watching, Katie. Thank you to you and everybody else, Libby and everybody else, for your wonderful support, and just watching the videos is what I really appreciate in being on the Choo-Choos. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful night. From Detroit, Michigan, Motown. Woo!